Ripout. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Ripout is an online, it's also a single player, co-op horror first-person shooter that will have players fight on their way. That will... off. Ripout is an online co-op horror first-person shooter that will have players fight their way through procedurally generated derelict ships filled with mutants capable of reconfiguring their alien bodies. Survive with your trusty pet gun companion, collect loot, and customize your character to fit your playstyle. It's also single player, this guys, and I've played both single player and co-op. And I did do a preview of this a while back, playing the demo, and I had a blast playing that in co-op. And I've had fun playing this. I haven't finished it yet, but I am quite enjoying it. It's not too bad. Unfortunately, the developers haven't really taken much of my feedback on board because the guns still feel piss poor and sound piss poor. And the problem is with a first-person shooter, they've got to be good because that's what gives you that sense of satisfaction when you're playing these kind of games. Anyway, we'll start off, have a quick look at the graphics, then we'll go into a little bit more depth. There's a few graphical options that you can set. I was getting 240 frames a second, guys, on Epic. It was running really, really well for me, but I was getting a bit of frame droppage now and then, so I dropped it down to high, and it stonks along on high, no problem at all, but I have set it for 60 frames a second purely down to rendering. That makes it easy when I'm putting it on YouTube at 60 frames a second. So it runs fine, it runs very fast, but it doesn't look that great. It's very kind of samey. I know they're all derelict ships that you get, but they're all made by the same fucking company by the look of it. It's everything is just copy, pasted, rinsed, repeat. Whatever ship you get on, well, purely, I mean, I haven't finished the game yet, but every ship that I've got on, you just feel like you're on exactly the same ship, albeit it's a different layout because it is procedurally generated. And that's a bit of a kick in the balls because I don't want that when I'm playing a game. I know it's a £20 game, like, but still, it's just lacking that human touch to the level design. Sometimes you'll see something that's a little bit different, but most of the time you just feel like you're on the same ship. And when you get off your ship, you don't really feel like you're boarding another ship. You feel like you're getting out your own garage. There's just something about that whole kind of, you don't feel like you've gone anywhere. When you're at your base and you get on your ship, you fly, and then you go and dock with another ship, then you feel like you're still in your base when you initially get out. There's no sense of, oh my goodness, what is this place? It's just like, have we gone anywhere yet? What the heck? And the gun's a pet. Your main gun is a pet, and you can craft different types of guns once you get the schematics for them, providing you have the mats to craft them. You pick up the mats, they're scattered around the levels, and some mobs drop mats as well, and you'll find them in chests, and you get rewards of them as well for doing quests. So your gun, it's a pet. Now what that means is you can pet it if you want, but the main thing that your pet does is it will retrieve modules. These are like shoulder mounted guns. They are lasers, they are claws, all kinds of stuff, shields, and you see them running, they're literally running around the level. You'll just see this laser with legs running around, or an arm just running all over the place. It's quite funny, actually. They're very well animated. It's quite hilarious. And you just set your pet after them. Fetch, boy, fetch. And your pet runs after the gun. I know this sounds mental, but this is what happens. And it brings it back and puts it on your shoulder, and you can now fire that as a secondary kind of weapon, which is cool because they are quite powerful. They're very powerful. But your pet will also attack mobs and jump on their head and start doing bad things to them. And you can get upgrades for that will help them explode or vampire health to you. Or if you're playing co-op and you sync pets, both pets attack the same one, you get double whammy on it and do way more damage, and you get way more rewards. So it is fun, and that's the main gimmick, if you want to call it a gimmick. It's not really a gimmick, it's a gimmick. But it's fun. It actually has a purpose. So as gimmicks generally don't. This it's quite a major part of the game, to be honest. In fact, you'd be lost without it. Now, your gun is also a gun, so you have your shotgun, your sniper, your machine, the usual kind of weapons that you get. And like I said in the opening bit, they are crap. And I said this in the demo, they are crap, and they're still crap. They've got no oomph. I'm a shotgunner mainly in this game, and Cassie I was playing with, she was alternating between sniper and assault, and I never felt like I had a shotgun, apart from the fact that it only held 5 fucking cartridges, so I was having to reload a lot. But it doesn't have that meat. When you pull the trigger, it sounds broken, to be honest. And when it hits, the impact is negligible. You don't feel like you're impacting anything. It's shit. And that's a big problem for me, because that is one of the things that pulls me back to playing games. Just having that awesome set of weapons to wield. There's something about gamers loving to wield insanely powerful, meaty sounding, damage dealing weapons. It's like our bread and butter, and you have to give us our bread and butter or we won't play anymore. So it is early access. I'm hoping that the developer will do something about it, because the weapons, they sound broken. They're just not good. Anyway, get on with it. The monsters themselves, quite disturbing. Some of them, when they come up right behind you and you're not expecting it. They come out of the walls, the floors, the ceilings. They come out of ducts on the side. They come out of machinery. They're all over the place, and there's some just wandering around as well. And it can look perfectly safe, and then a second later all hell's breaking loose. I like that about the game. It has atmosphere. It oozes that kind of atmosphere and immersion, especially when you're playing solo. I've been playing solo today because Cass is at work, and so wandering around by myself was unnerving. I have to admit, it was quite unnerving. And then when things jump out at you, it's kind of, they're not jump scares, but it's like, you know, it's quiet, then boom, all hell's breaking loose. It's really well done, all of that. That's a nice plus of the game. And it is a fun game to play. I mean, I don't want to really knock the game too much, because it is a fun game to play. It's just frustrating because it could be way, way better. And you know what? It could be way, way better for not a lot of work either. I mean, I'm no professional coder, but I'm pretty sure just upping the weapons a bit, you know, adding a few more different things into the levels would make a world of difference to this game. Because if you don't kind of do that, I'm afraid it's probably just going to get washed away in a sea of mediocrity. It needs something to really make it stand out, and it doesn't have that at the minute. And I really believe great weapons, really good meaty weapons. Let's see arms flying up when you blow them. You know, let's just see freaking meat on the weapons. Let's feel reactions and impact. You know, yeah, if this was me, if I was manager of this company, I would put everybody on that. I'd say, look, priority here, get these weapons sorted out, because you have shit mediocre weapons and your game's it's just a washout, right? And the levels need a bit more. You need a bit more in the levels as well. But generally speaking, getting the loot, doing the crafting, going out onto ships, fighting the monsters, co-op, single player, it works. It really does work. It just needs that. It just needs to make it great. It just needs to make it great. So there you go, guys. Ripout. It's well worth checking out. It's a pretty decent game, but it just lacks that oomph.